So we've got these lovely bugs. I've just got the lights out a little bit now because I just want to see them as they're lit up. And all we've done is put some of the some fairy lights inside, and this one inside here has got what are called balloon lights. I've got one fastened in. I've got a couple of loose ones in as well. And they're just gorgeous little lights, and you just unscrew the back and that switches them off. You screw them back together again and they come on. So they're good. You can get those, as I've said before in a previous video, you can get those online. And it's nice with the string lights to have them coming along the nosy beaky thing of the bug. And what I've got here are just paintings of bugs. This is a photograph obviously, but just to get some idea of what sort of colours I might want to paint in the bug. There's leaf bugs and beetles and a wasp here and a butterfly. I'm just wondering what it was that I wanted to do actually in the bug itself. So getting ready for painting, and we do need to prepare the plastic because paint doesn't stick very well to plastic, as I'm sure you know. And so what I've done to start with is I've painted the inside of the head or the back or the bottle with some glue. So just normal PVA glue. Just squeeze that out, find an old brush, dry it out as much as you can if it's already wet, and just paint the inside of the whole thing so that it's drying. So then you need to leave it to dry. Okay. If you've used a brush for your water, if you've used a brush for glue, make sure you put it back in some water, because otherwise that glue will be useless when it sets. PVA glue, you can't get it out. So we'll leave that one to dry. And what are the sorts of paints that you can use? Well, if we want the colours to show through, that's the thing to think about, because we need to make sure that the whole thing's transparent, and it will be. There's two sorts of paint you can use. Well, you can use any sort of paint. You can use ready mix paint, watercolour paint. I've got here some acrylic paint, and that is you do need water with your acrylic paints and any sort of paint really, obviously, to clean your brushes. And so I'm thinking of doing some sort of design in the middle. And so wet your brush to start with, and then wet the palette. And this can be fairly runny. I'm going to start with yellow, and I can paint inside there with the yellow. And can you see that yellow is actually a see-through colour? I'm just going to go down the whole, think of the length of the body here with that not quite runny yellow. Make it a little bit thicker. And then what I think I'll do is I'll add a touch of red. And I need to make that a little bit runny too. And you can see when you add red to yellow, it goes orange. And you can just paint stripes down there. It's looking great already, isn't it? And because it's a little bit wet, it runs and blends in to the paint itself. And then I think I'll add some more. Look at that, adding more yellow to that red has made it go orange, but I still want it to be a little bit runny, so I'm going to go orange here and orange at that side. Now anything you paint first of all will be seen on the other side, and what it's doing at the moment is it's wetting the acrylic, it's wetting the PVA glue, which, as you know, started off white, and now it's wetting that, and it's going to go white again, but then it will go a little bit transparent. And I'm going to rinse my brush now, because I want that to go yellow again. So I'm going to really clean the brush. And now you can do this with ready mix paints. You could even mix normal ready mix paints with some PVA glue, and that will help it stick as well. So ready mix paints are just normal school paints that you get in bottles. So with that yellow there. Because there's some glue on there already, and that's dry, then that's going to make sure that the PVA glue will soak up some of the water. Like I said, we're going to wait and see what happens when it dries. It looks lovely from the inside. And then I think at the edges, I'm just going to turn it to go with that bit of yellow there. I'm going to add a little bit of blue in. Look at that beautiful green colour. And I'm thinking about this bug here, because that's got greens to yellows, and it makes it, and it goes shiny. So right at the edges, I'm just going to go deeper green. And then as it gets to the edge, I'm just going to paint with pure blue around the edges. Now I'll go around the back there, I think. Now it's all on the inside, because the paint could damage the paint. It's all on the inside because the paint can come off and it gets a little bit sticky. So that's the first one, and that's okay. And then we've got to let that dry, and as I say, it looks a little bit white at the moment, but that's the glue wetting up again, becoming a bit damp, and then whitening up. So we can do that. Now there's another type of paint that you can use, which is called ink, and that's in these bowls here. And it's very runny, and if it spills and gets on your hands, it stains them. So you've got to be ever so careful. Have a sheet on your table, and make sure the parent knows what it is that you're doing, if you can get it. Or you could use paint markers. You know, the graffiti paint markers, Posca markers, and things like that. You can paint as long as you've put glue on the inside. It will always take colour. So, and with the ink, I'm going to use a softer hairbrush. So did you notice with the acrylic it was quite a stiff, bristly brush, and this one is a softer hairbrush. And again, I'm just going to wet the brush to start with, and this time I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint some dark spots on there. You have to be quite careful with ink, because you can paint the whole surface. So I'm going to go spotty with this one. And you can see that shows quite clearly straight away. Ink is more transparent, so it's going to let more light come in. And I think I'll go spotty in the middle, but as they get towards the outside, what should I do at the outside? I'm going to make them start to turn into lines. I'm swizzling around. start with a line and end up with a dot at the side. That might be nicer. So I think I might start with a line at the side ending in these dots. So then it becomes a nice design. And it's partly stripy, partly spotty. That's a big one there. Now there's a bit of a U shape there. I'm going to stay clear of that because I'm going to put some other colour in there. And then we're just going to keep on going around with these spots. So it's quite quick, is the painting part. And of course, after all this is dry, we're going to have to put it back together again. So that's the blue. And now I think, well, I'm thinking ladybird really. So I think I'll use red, and I'm cleaning my brush as much as I can. Sometimes it's good to have, because the water gets very dirty, so sometimes it's good to have 2 pots of water. And this time I'm going with this red colour. And I'm looking to see where the blue is dry. I can obviously paint around that, and I'm just going to go around the spots to start with. And this is trailing the brush around that. And if it overlaps a little bit, it doesn't matter, because what's going to happen is the colour will mix onto the blue. I don't know whether you can see what colour it's actually changing it to. That's right, it's purple. Violet. I think I'm going to stick with the red around the blue here, around the spots. Then I want to change its colour again. It's got a lump. It looks like a bunch of raspberries at the moment. That's that. And the other colour that I've got is yellow. 3 primary colours. Again, just dry my brush off, wipe it on a paper towel, just to clean it off. And so this edge, they look like trees to me. Now you can see that the yellow might run into the red, which is fine because that will change it to orange. If it runs into the blue as well, well, it goes into these blue trees at the side. And that'll go green, but if it overlaps the red, it's going to go orange, like it did with the acrylic. So I'm going to, that's the phone going. Hi, love. Yeah, I'll just come down. I'm just finishing the video. I'm just doing one at the moment. All right. Yeah, I'll be there 2 minutes. Okay, bye. Sorry for the interruption. So that was the phone. And around there. So now I'm going to see how it's looking. Yeah, it's very stripy and spotty. So I'll finish this off and I'll show you when I've completed it. And if the colours run into it with the ink, it's absolutely fine if the colours run, because that's what it actually does. Just going around there with gentle strokes, going around in that space there. I think I'll just bring a little bit of yellow just to tie it into that red. Just going to go around the edge of the red. And so that is the underneath and the top of the book. And all I've got to do now is the head. Well, thank you for watching, and this is how the head turned out in the end. I decided to go with a diamond shapes for the painting, and I actually used both acrylic paint and ink to finish that off. And I think when we put the lights inside, there we go. Beautiful looking light, and I've painted eyes on him as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you've had fun, so much fun. I hope you've had fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you look at the other Hello Art videos that there are. And like I said, there's a jungle painting coming up fairly soon, so take care. Bye.